Believing in yourself is not just a feel-good mantra, it is the fundamental cornerstone of achievement, growth, and resilience. Self-belief isn't about arrogance or delusion, it's about having a grounded confidence in your abilities, a trust in your process, and a willingness to stand firm in the face of doubt, both your own and others. Every day, the world presents reasons to question yourself. It could be a setback, a rejection, an unkind word, or even just the pressure of expectations. But the difference between those who merely dream and those who achieve is the unshakable belief in their own potential. That belief does not mean you always have the answers or that you'll never fail. What it does mean is that you hold the unwavering conviction that you can figure it out, you can grow, and you can rise from every fall stronger than before. Self-belief starts with mindset. What you tell yourself every day becomes your internal narrative. If you constantly speak words of limitation, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, people like me don't succeed, then you create mental boundaries that become difficult to break through. But when you begin to affirm, I am capable, I deserve success, I can learn what I don't know, you lay the foundation for transformation. The human mind is incredibly responsive to the messages it receives, especially from within. Feeding your mind positive, empowering thoughts isn't cliche, it's essential. This kind of belief doesn't emerge overnight. It's built over time, forged in the fire of challenges, strengthened through persistence, and sharpened through reflection. It's not a passive quality that you either have or don't. It's a daily decision. Every morning when you wake up, you have the choice to back yourself or to doubt yourself. The more you choose belief, the easier it becomes to hold on to it, even when the circumstances don't seem to justify it. People often look at high achievers and assume they never struggle with self-doubt. That couldn't be further from the truth. Every person who has reached great heights has wrestled with insecurity. The difference lies in how they responded. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, they acted through it. Instead of listening to the voice that said, "You're not ready," they said, "I'll try anyway." Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, they created opportunities by trusting their instincts and abilities. The belief you hold about yourself influences how you handle setbacks. When you don't believe in yourself, a failure becomes a final verdict. But when you do believe, failure becomes feedback. You see it not as a dead end, but as data, a lesson pointing you in the direction of growth. Believing in yourself equips you to persevere when the path gets tough. It's that internal fire that says, this isn't the end, it's just a bend in the road. Self-belief also opens the door to discipline and commitment. It's hard to stay committed to something you don't think you're capable of. But when you believe that your effort matters and your potential is real, you start showing up with consistency. You take your goals seriously. You develop habits that reinforce your success. You put in the work not because success is guaranteed, but because you believe you have something worth fighting for. Surroundings matter too. While self-belief must come from within, it is often nurtured or diminished by your environment. Spend time with people who challenge and uplift you, who see your potential and remind you of it when you forget. Avoid voices that constantly feed negativity or diminish your aspirations. Protect your mental spaces fiercely as you protect your physical health. Believing in yourself doesn't mean ignoring your weaknesses. It means acknowledging them honestly and being willing to improve. Confidence and humility are not enemies, they are allies. Believing in yourself allows you to admit, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I trust myself enough to get there. It gives you the courage to take action, to ask for help, to keep showing up. It's also important to recognize the role of preparation in building belief. Confidence often grows from competence. The more prepared you are, the easier it is to trust yourself in critical moments. Whether it's a job interview, a performance, a difficult conversation, or a creative endeavor, putting in the work builds your internal confidence. Preparation sends a message to your subconscious that you are taking yourself seriously, that your goals are worth the effort. Visualization can also be a powerful tool. Seeing yourself succeeding, handling challenges, and thriving in your mind's eye sets a blueprint for reality. Elite athletes, performers, and leaders often use visualization not because it's magical, but because it primes the brain for success. It creates a sense of familiarity that makes execution smoother and less intimidating. Still, the path won't be easy. There will be moments where doubt creeps in, where nothing seems to be working, and when quitting feels easier than continuing. That's exactly when belief becomes most vital. It's easy to be confident when everything is going your way, but real belief is tested in the silence, when no one is clapping for you, when progress is invisible, and when outcomes are uncertain. In those moments, what you say to yourself matters most. Will you say, maybe this isn't for me? Or will you say, this is hard, but I can figure it out? Your future depends not on the circumstances around you, but on the belief you cultivate within. No one else can give it to you. Not your family, not your boss, not your mentor. Their belief in you can be helpful, but it cannot substitute your own. Because at the end of the day, it's your choices, your actions, and your mindset that shape your journey. And those are all fueled by what you believe. So speak life into yourself, declare your potential, commit to growth, and keep moving even when the path is unclear. Because the truth is, belief in yourself doesn't guarantee immediate success, but the absence of it almost always guarantees failure. Let your belief be your anchor, your compass, and your fuel. It's not just a feeling, it's a discipline. Dreams, in their raw form, are beautiful. They are the spark that lights the fire of ambition, the visions that dance in our minds and pull us toward a better future. But left alone, dreams are ethereal. They float above reality, untouched and untethered. What bridges the gap between what we imagine and what we achieve is not passion alone, but discipline and structure. In other words, goals. A dream without a goal is like a ship without a compass. It may be grand in design and full of potential, but it drifts aimlessly. To create real change, to bring that dream down from the clouds and place it firmly in one's hands, it must be given a framework. That framework is goals. Specific, clear, measurable, and time-bound. When a person wakes each morning with a goal in mind, the day has direction. Tasks are no longer chores, they become stepping stones. But goals aren't just long-term ambitions carved into stone. They exist in layers, long-term, short-term, and immediate. Each layer supports the next. A life goal might be to become a master in a profession, to build a family, or to contribute meaningfully to society. But without the scaffolding of yearly, monthly, weekly, and even daily objectives, that life goal becomes too massive to tackle. It's intimidating and often leads to paralysis. Breaking it down makes it digestible. Daily goals, no matter how small, become the daily proof that progress is being made. Completing them creates a sense of momentum, and momentum is a powerful force. It is not just about writing goals down and then walking away. There must be an active relationship with them. Revisit them often. Adjust them when necessary. Life isn't static, and goals shouldn't be either. Flexibility is not failure, it's intelligence. It's responding to the real world while still holding on to the thread that connects back to the dream. If a path is blocked, the dream isn't abandoned. The route simply changes. The key is to keep moving, step by step. Another powerful aspect of setting goals is that they bring clarity. In a world full of distractions, with information flying from all directions and people pulling you toward their own agendas, goals are the filter. When faced with a decision, whether it's how to spend your time, what opportunity to pursue, or even who to spend time with, goals help answer the question, does this bring me closer to where I want to be? And if the answer is no, then it's a distraction. Learning to say no to what doesn't serve your goals is an act of discipline that frees up energy for what truly matters. What often happens without goals is that energy is spent on urgent but unimportant things. The days pass filled with busy work, and while effort is being exerted, nothing of real consequence is accomplished. This is where frustration sets in. People feel tired but unfulfilled, like they've been running in place. Goals anchor effort to purpose. They convert energy into results. There is also an emotional and psychological benefit to living goal-oriented. When you pursue a goal and see yourself inching closer, it creates a sense of control. You no longer feel like life is something happening to you. Instead, you feel like a participant, a co-creator. That's empowering, and empowerment builds confidence, which in turn fuels more action. But setting goals requires honesty. You must first know what you truly want, not what you think you should want, not what others expect of you, and not what looks good on paper. This demands self-reflection. It requires moments of silence, time alone with your thoughts, and the courage to admit your desires without judgment. Only when the goals are aligned with who you truly are can they be sustainable. Of course, goals come with discomfort. They demand change. They push you out of comfort zones. They force you to confront your limitations. But this is a gift. Growth never happens in comfort. Goals, by their very nature, require transformation. You must become the kind of person who achieves them. There is also the risk of failure, and that's okay. Failure, when you're pursuing something meaningful, is data. It tells you what needs adjusting. It points out weaknesses to be strengthened. It builds character. Pursuing goals invites failure not as the end, but as a part of the process. Each setback is an education. Each misstep is a step forward if you choose to learn from it. Without goals, time slips away. Days blend into weeks, weeks into years, and people often wake up one day wondering where the time went. They look back at dreams they once had, now dusty and neglected. But goals prevent that. They hold you accountable to the future you envision. They ask, what did you do today to move closer? That question, repeated daily, keeps the fire burning. And goal setting isn't a solitary act. When shared with the right people, it builds community and support. It invites collaboration. It tells the world, this is where I'm going, and this is what I'm working toward. Often, that vulnerability creates connection. People show up to help. Resources emerge. Mentors appear. But it starts with declaring that vision and defining the steps to reach it. Goals are a declaration of intent. They say, I'm not waiting for life to happen. I'm taking an active role. They require responsibility. No more blaming circumstances, no more excuses. The moment you define a goal, you accept the weight of pursuing it. But with that weight comes meaning. Living each day with a clear sense of what you're working toward changes how you walk, talk, think, and feel. It brings discipline where there was drift. It replaces aimlessness with direction. It fosters purpose where there was uncertainty. And perhaps most importantly, it brings dignity, the quiet dignity of someone who knows where they're going and why. Every day when you wake up, you face a simple but profound choice: to believe in yourself or to doubt. That choice, though it may feel small in the moment, sets the tone for everything that follows. It determines how you show up to your work, how you handle challenges, and how you pursue the goals that live in your heart. Believing in your dream is not a passive thing, it's an active commitment, a decision you must make over and over again, especially on the days when it's hardest. We live in a world where it's easy to get distracted by the noise, to compare ourselves to others, and to measure our worth by the number of likes, followers, or accolades we collect. But none of that defines the value of your dream. The truth is, your dream is valid the moment it is born inside you. It matters because you matter. And if you don't believe in it, if you don't protect it, nurture it, and carry it forward with passion, no one else will. It's not the job of the world to validate you, it's your job to validate yourself. When you own your dream relentlessly, you step into a mindset of purpose. You no longer wait for someone to tell you you're good enough. You no longer shrink yourself to fit into someone else's idea of success. You begin to walk your own path, carve your own lane, and define success on your own terms. And this requires courage, because owning your dream means you have to stand in the face of doubt, criticism, and sometimes even rejection. You will encounter people who don't understand what you're doing or why you're doing it. You'll hear voices, both outside and inside, telling you that you're not qualified, that you're not talented enough, that your dream is unrealistic. But here's the truth. It's not their job to understand. It's not their job to believe. It's yours. And the louder the voices of doubt get, the louder you must be in your own mind. You must become your own biggest fan, your own loudest cheerleader, and your own most faithful supporter. There's a difference between arrogance and confidence. Arrogance is believing you're better than others. Confidence is believing you are worthy of the dream you carry. And confidence is built in the trenches. When you show up day after day, when you do the work, when you make sacrifices that no one sees, and when you keep going long after the excitement fades. It's in those quiet, unglamorous moments that belief is formed. Part of owning your dream is taking full responsibility for it. It's easy to blame circumstances, lack of resources, or lack of support for why we don't pursue our goals. But the moment you decide that your dream is non-negotiable, you stop waiting for the perfect conditions. You stop waiting for everything to align. You stop saying, I'll start when. And you start saying, I'm starting now with what I have. Ownership means you become resourceful. You find a way when there seems to be no way. You become resilient, you adjust, you adapt, and you keep moving forward. Owning your dream also means you protect it from distractions and negativity. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every piece of feedback needs to land in your spirit. You need to be selective about who you share your dreams with, because not everyone will have the capacity to see what you see. Some people will project their own fears onto you. Some will laugh, some will doubt. But you can't allow their fear to become your fear. You can't allow their small thinking to shrink your big vision. You have to stand firm, to hold the line, and to guard your dream like a treasure, because that's exactly what it is. Another part of this journey is patience. Dreams don't manifest overnight. There will be seasons where it feels like nothing is happening, like you're doing all this work and not seeing the results you hoped for. But that's when you need to hold on to your belief the most. The seed is still growing underground, even when you can't see the sprout. The work you're doing today is preparing you for the doors that will open tomorrow. Don't give up in the silent seasons. Don't let impatience trick you into quitting too soon. Also, recognize that your dream will evolve over time. The more you grow, the more your dream will expand and deepen. That's a beautiful thing. Allow yourself the freedom to pivot, to shift, to redefine your goals as you gain experience and wisdom. Flexibility is not the same as abandoning your dream. It's how you keep it alive and aligned with who you're becoming. A powerful way to stay connected to your dream is to remind yourself daily why it matters. Write it down, speak it out loud, visualize it, surround yourself with reminders. Keep it in front of you so that when the inevitable challenges come, you remember why you started. Motivation will fluctuate, but discipline and clarity will carry you through.